Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, today I have Sandeep with me, and we are going to change the format of this a little bit. Instead of a monologue from Sandeep, we are going to have a general discussion about Editas today, because Editas has been picking up, and so far in the last so many fortnights, we have been focused on CRISPR Therapeutics and Bluebird, and in the process, we had lost sight of many things. So since then, I have made a video on Illumina, and I also made a video on a few other companies so that we can catch up with the lost time. And today it's the turn for Editas. And who better than Sandeep to talk to us about the financials while I talk about the technicals and other issues. So friends, with that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. So, Sandeep, I think when it comes to Editas, the first question I have in mind is, do they have enough money, and how long do it last?
Great question. Thank you for asking that. So, does Editas have enough money, and for how long? The best way to find out this answer is go to their balance sheets, go to their cash flow statements, go to their income statements. And that's what I've done.
Yeah.
So, based off the information that I gather from Editas's balance sheets, from their financial statements, and from their 10Q quarterly revenue, which just came out a really short while ago, actually. It dropped just in November 3rd.
Right.
Based off that, the company, so many of us know that Editas is a money-losing company.
Yeah.
And it's going to have issues with revenue for a while because it's not making money. However, does it have enough money to survive? Short answer, yes. Long answer, it's getting better, but a lot of that is because of partners, because of some help it's getting from various other groups, some of those being us, the shareholder.
Right.
So just I got a little summary of some important things that I picked up from its most recent balance sheet, from its most recent earnings. Its cash and cash equivalents has gone down, which is unfortunate. Around this time from the prior quarter, it had cash and cash equivalents about 480 million. That has decreased a little bit by about 40 million to 446 million, which
This is
is
at the end of Q3 2023.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And but positive note, their EPS, their earnings per share, has improved. Around the last time, this time last year, they were losing about 81 cents per share. That has decreased and improved to about 55 cents per share. And why is that? It's because the company's getting much more efficient. R&D expenses have increased, had gone up to 5.3 million, which is good because at this point last year, it was only about $42,000, but they're sharing this with one of their partners called Von Bio, which is, it's so cool to see that the R&D is being shared in between two groups, but
Yeah.
their R&D actual development expenses has decreased by $800,000 because it's sharing between two groups. So that's really nice to hear. And their general and administrative expenses, which a lot of the time, much of the expenses, much of the increase in expenses are in this category, that is decreased because of less stock-based compensation and reduced legal costs, as they say.
I like that.
Decreased by $1.2 million to 15 million. Before it was 16.2, which is nice. So to talk about how much money it has, based off their words in their balance sheet, they have enough money until Q3 2025.
Wow, that's not
Yes.
bad. That's
Yes,
not bad
that
at
is
all.
considering all the cash burn, considering, and their cash burn is approved, by the way. At one point, it was 380 million dollars in cash burn. Now it's at 181. So company's getting much more
Yeah.
efficient.
Lean, mean, and efficient. And Sandeep, one of our subscribers, Shane Olsen, 1923, just an hour or 2 hours ago, he says that Vertex paid Editas 50 million plus royalties until 2032. And I was asking him, can you send me a link? So if that 50 million comes, then the outlook looks even better, right? So you have any information on that?
So Raj, it's so great that we have a great cohort of subscribers who pull this stuff up. We can find
It's
this
getting
out
better
very
these days.
easily.
I get many of these comments, very
Nice.
interesting comments from our subscribers. Many times I get to learn a lot. Yeah,
Mm.
please go ahead. So how do we find about this?
Find out this very easily. I'll show you how.
Yeah,
So let me just, you can find this out by going to, if you're ever confused, just head over to the company's website,
yeah,
Editas Medicine, and go to their investor relations section. And then I like to go over to SEC filings. I've got it right over here, and there's a whole bunch of great stuff. I was looking at the 10Q
right.
and a bunch of this other stuff as well. If we were to click this, it's gotten a whole variety of formats. I like to use Adobe.
Yeah.
I'll just move this to the end. Right over here, their most recent filing where they talk about what other than Editas and Vertex Pharmaceuticals have entered into agreement as of last week. So your subscriber, our wonderful friend subscriber, is correct. And you could see that sum right here entitled to a 50 million upfront cash payment and 50 million upfront cash payment and an additional 50 million of contingent payments. So it's getting 50 million right now, and it might get another 50 million. And as you can see over here, it continues on where it's eligible for license fees of 10 to 40 million each year annually up until 2034. So absolutely beautiful. That
That's
is
nice. And the
where
money
your
flows through
subscribers
to
from.
Broad Institute, it says there in that. So that's really good. I think now when you look at their Q3, already they have tightened expenses and everything.
Hmm.
They have got lean, mean, and slick. And at the same time, their EPS had also improved. So now with this 50 million and potential of 10 to 40 million coming in every year from Vertex, I think the company is starting to look good.
It
Right?
is.
Yeah. And then what about share dilution? Have they done any share dilution to have that cash runway that you mentioned earlier? Because
Yes.
these companies do a lot of share dilution.
Yes.
I was looking at Palantir before and I had bought
Yeah.
it and it kept on going down. And I found
Hmm.
they keep on issuing shares to employees. So how does
Yes.
Editas compare?
So great question. That is one of the things I found when I was looking at their most recent quarterly filing. The company, we know it's a money losing company. We know it needs money, and they say it themselves. I can even show you right here.
Yeah.
When talking about liquidity, they mentioned that the company is a money losing company and it relies on right over here when we're talking about liquidity, it's relying on us, the shareholders, and
Yeah.
other investors. One of those being this Cohen and Cohen Company Group, and it needs us to fund its operation. So it's a money losing company. However, because of a share issue of 12.5 million shares, which generated about $117 million after expenses and after all the legal fees. Because of that, and because of an additional influx coming in from some of his partners, which we could get into later if we like, the company has money right now and doesn't feel the need to issue more shares. It can. It has shares outstanding that it could issue. However, it doesn't feel the need to do that quite yet. because it has money until 2025. And some people, what I looked at, are saying that the company insiders are selling shares. They are. However, I went and took a look at some of the 8K filings. There is an executive vice president named Mr. Eaton Bruce who has been selling shares. However, he owns, so this is a little perspective. He owns 75,000 shares. And in the last month, he sold about a little over 1,000 of them.
That's not
So,
much.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not very much. He's just
No.
maybe gonna go buy some Christmas gifts for his family.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Yes.
not much. Yeah.
So the company has money. It can dilute shares, but it doesn't need to right now because of it already diluted and it's got some money coming in for some of his friends.
Yeah, so we were talking earlier about the revenue source for Editas, and I
Mm.
remember that in our discussion before we started this recording, you were talking about a company called Azure, which was providing funding. Can you just talk about it? Our viewers will
Of
find it very
course.
interesting.
So this is what I found was so innovative and beautiful for some of these money losing biopharma companies. And we did a video on Gilead a short while ago where Gilead was losing money for over a decade
Yeah,
and it didn't make a single dollar of profit for years. And now it's a super giant in the biopharma industry. A lot of that, these companies, they do that through help. And one of those is this great company that I found out about, which is helping out Editas, by the way, called Azure Labs. Azure Labs is kind of like a group of veterans who know what they're doing and they help according to their website. Our goal is to help companies move from the drug discovery phase to the delivery phase by developing and conducting analytical testing and that is compliant with global regulations. So it's almost like a partner where it's like kind of like a mentorship where these companies they take a little bit of some of the ownership of the company sometimes or sometimes other money and they help the company grow from over here where I can't do anything to over here and they have a pretty good track record of doing this. So that is sweet. But if you want to talk a little bit more about their partners,
yeah.
you got, if I may, they got partnership with Bristol Myers Squibb, huge company, very profitable company. Another company called Juno Therapeutics and Vor Bio, which was helping out with their R&D. So Bristol Myers Squibb, they gave them they gave Editas $135.5 million in upfront costs. To date, they have recorded or they have realized on their balance sheet 56.7 million of that. So they still have about 78.8 million of deferred revenue from Bristol Myers that they still would need to slowly amortize throughout the quarters. So very nice. And
Yeah.
they got more money coming in from their other partners. And we just found, thanks to our wonderful subscriber, money coming in from
Vertex.
Supergiant Vertex.
Yeah, there'll be other companies which are also using CRISPR-Cas9. They will also potentially sign up with Editas because I read another article where they said Editas has got staff round the clock approaching various companies to
Hmm.
tie up license agreements. It's a full-time occupation there, and they are thinking that that's going to be a significant leg of revenue for them. So it's only
Beautiful.
going to increase. So it's starting to look good. Do you have anything more to talk about? We had the quadruple witching coming in, right? So
Yeah.
Monday, I'm anxiously waiting to see what happens on Monday. So has this stock been heavily shorted, or is it what is the situation? Is it at all possible for you to find out, or
Yes, yes. I looked at that as well when I was and if you want to know some of these statistics, you can you don't need the Bloomberg terminal for everything, You could find out short interest by kind of Googling it. Yahoo does that, but I find Yahoo might not be the most accurate
Reliable.
to date sometimes. There are other companies. Fintel is one of them, but I looked it up and this company, Editas, has amazingly almost a 20% of their outstanding shares sold short, which is
Oh,
massive. That's a
yeah.
really big short interest.
So,
So what that kind of means is that if there is a change in sentiment of
yeah,
market sentiment,
yeah,
we might see a kind of a short-term short covering rally in
yeah.
this company where the shorts are buying their shares, and it's going to pump the stock up for a little bit as almost like an artificial pump.
So
So
when did we get the news of Vertex paying them? When do you think the news hit the market that Vertex is going to pay Editas? Let me see here. Was it 13th of December? The
yes, it
$50
was
million?
13 December. Yes.
So let me share a screen with you guys, and uh, we'll see. Let me go ahead, share screen, and I want to show you the trading view screen for Editas. And 13th, see, this is 13th December, okay?
Yeah.
I suspect, I don't know when the information came in, but it was a steep jump and then 2 consecutive days of jumps. So if I also take a widget from here and measure from the bottom before the news to after the news, that's a gain of 11.1%.
Wow.
Okay. So maybe on Monday, we might find that this goes up further. I don't know how this short squeeze thing works, but if that is the case, then I think, yeah, as you said, it may go up and then come down. So it's looking bullish out here right now. Momentum is also pretty good. MACD is turning towards the signal line. Volumes are pretty high for the green candles.
Yes.
So that's also pretty good. So it's looking good here. If I see this, it's looking very good. We came out of the bear channel, long-term bear channel, and then we were in a subordinate bear channel, superior bear channel. Then we started picking up a sharp fall, consolidation, fall, pick up. And now whatever happens here, it's a bullish pennant which broke down, but now we are going up again. I don't know, these, sometimes I wonder if technicals work at all or not, because you expect one thing and something else happens, because there are so many things which are interrelated. It's not just one thing we can use to predict. We have to look at 2 or 3 things together in order to get a reasonable chance of success. But what I'm seeing here is that if we look at the 9-day, 20-day, 50-day, 100 and 200-day EMA, the 9-day is basically the red one, the thick one. So the thick one has crossed over, a lot of them forming the so-called golden crosses. And then out here, it is still above the, I think, 20-day exponential moving average. So that's still positive. But we need more impetus out here for it to go up. I think this Vertex deal is going to do it for Editas. I cannot see anything else out here because the next earning report is coming up on 22nd February, which is a long way out. So the only catalyst is more CRISPR revenue signing here and there after Vertex. That's what it will be. And I don't see why someone would want to pay royalties and license fee in advance before they get approval from FDA for their therapy. So I guess what I will do after this video is over is look at all the genomic companies in our watch list and try to see how many of them are using CRISPR-Cas9 and how many of them are close to getting FDA approval. And based on that, we can have a fair projection of how much incremental license revenue CRISPR can have. And then on the other side, I'm thinking, now what happens to Caribou and CRISPR Therapeutics and their license revenues? Is it going to dry up? Because in Europe, they still prevail. So are they going to get European revenues, and out here, Editas and the Broad Institute will get revenues? I don't know. But we'll get to know more as time goes by, because some of our subscribers may have some ideas, and they can actually put it in the comments so that the rest of the community can understand what's happening with the royalty issue. But it needs to be resolved. I think the courts are taking too long to resolve critical things. They should have resolved this, I think, maybe 2 years ago, but it's still going on. And same is the case with the Grail issue also. It's dragging and dragging and dragging.
My goodness.
We need things to get resolved fast. And of course, we are entering the election year, right? 2024. So election years are generally supposed to be good for the market because the government is more focused on getting re-elected. And in the process, I think the Fed doesn't want to disturb the apple cart, and nobody wants to do anything. And when nothing is being done, the share market is really happy. Like when the parents are away, the kids are partying.
Yes.
So that's
No
the
rules.
sentiment. And many people are saying that December is going to be great. I was watching another video by another content creator, and he has this thing called as the Grinch theory. So the Grinch theory is that 3 days before and 3 days after Christmas, if the market falls, like 3 days before Christmas, it has to fall, and 3 days after Christmas, it has to fall. If that happens, then the subsequent year is a very profitable year and the market really goes up. However, if 3 days before and 3 days after, it doesn't go that way. I mean, if both 3 days before and after was profitable and the market was up, then the following year is really bad.
Wow.
So, yeah, so that's what the Grinch theory is saying. That's almost 17 times that has been proved true based on historical records. So that's what he was saying. I couldn't get any source to find out the table that he was using, and I don't want to copy his table. So I'll be doing a little bit of study in those angles also, and share original research with our group. But I'll get back to you on that Grinch thing. I'm going to do some data search. So what else do you have, Sandeep? Anything else to talk about?
Yes. So a few final thoughts about Editas. The company relies, it's not a money-making company. So we can't analyze it like a money-making company. We could see that it's going to need about 58.6 million dollars a quarter just to stay afloat.
Right.
And it's got that through the 30 million it's gotten from its Cohen and Cohen Company. That's a capital investment fund that gave him money. It's got that through its share dilution that generated about 117 million. And it's got much of that from that Bristol Myers Squibb partnership, which they paid up front and they're deferring the revenue over. But this Vertex partnership is nice. Another expense which didn't get recorded, which is a compensation expense of about 18.1 million. That's stock-based comp, which they didn't put this in here, which I discovered from reading that. That's something else. But even considering that, they got enough money for, although free cash flow negative, they have enough revenue and enough money coming in to fund operations until now 2026, thanks to Vertex.
Right.
It's a very small company. The market cap is less than $1 billion, so it can move very, very quickly, just massive amounts in massive shifts and movement in a short period of time. But one thing that is intriguing and something I kind of makes me a little cautious, a little unsure about is when we saw that wonderful Vertex partnership, there was a great range and great. If any of our viewers picked up on that, good for you. Range between 10 million and 40 million per year. That's a really large range.
At the very minimum, they get 10 million.
Yeah.
And anywhere above that, it's a bonus. That's how we can view it as a conservative approach. So that could lead to a bit of volatility in the share. There could be sudden jumps. When every quarter they start reporting how much they got from Vertex, there'll be a jump. Or if Vertex reports that they paid so much to Editas in their quarterly, whichever comes first. So we may have situations where Vertex reports first, and that could move the Editas share. So we have to watch out for that.
And that's going on until 2034.
Yeah.
So company is becoming much more efficient, and it's honest. I
Yeah,
appreciate that it's honest. It's
yeah,
showing up at a few conferences to show their technology, but until it gets profitability and until it gets actually profitable, we're gonna need to focus more on does it have money coming in from its partners than does it have money coming in from its drugs and therapies. So that's
yeah,
something to consider, to
yeah.
listen these Vertex and other partnerships more than some of the other stuff we see in the beautiful financials.
Yeah, and when you're talking about that, right?
Mm,
I am looking at the recent release they gave for Edit 301,
mm,
which uses ASCAS12A,
yeah.
which is a gene editing nuclease that they have. It's a proprietary one,
Mm,
and it's more precise. And the way they have accomplished the sickle cell cure with their Reni-cel, which is
yeah.
the new name for Edit 301, right? They have edited HB1 and HB2. So I think that it's a very nice solution. And when it comes to market, I think it will be superior to what CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex have to offer. So at that time, that will also be an income. And I think that there's a little bit of urgency when it comes to Editas with regard to Edit 301, because the day that CRISPR and Bluebird got approval for Casgevy and Lovocell, on the around the same time they held a conference to release data of
Mm,
edital returns results for edit 301 for sickle cell disease as well as TDT, and their sickle cell disease results based on 40 patients is looking really really strong, and they also have data for 2 years before for those patients, so they are data strong.
nice.
So I think that they will do very well, and
Mm,
that will also probably create a competition for CRISPR and Bluebird.
there's just
So and while we are talking about sickle cell disease, it was very interesting to see. I made a big mistake with Bluebird. I sold it a bit early, a knee jerk reaction, because CRISPR went up again. So I went back to check what is happening. So it seems that CRISPR has already tied up with a insurer who insures almost 100 million Americans. So that's almost a third of US population. That is huge. And
huge.
they have also given target numbers, of course, not for sickle cell disease alone, but combination of Zynteglo, Skysona, and Casgevy, Lovocell all together,
Mm,
and they have given a number. So basically, now we have target numbers. Earlier, they never used to give. So based on all these things, the share price has gone up, and the fact that there's an insurer who is ready to pay reduces the uh, reduces the pressure on Editas for that 3.1 million price tag that they had.
mm,
Because when people saw CRISPR coming with a 2.1 million price tag and Editas coming with 3.1, along with a black box warning for cancer, the sentiment for Bluebird dropped drastically. But now with this insurer tie-up, all that is washed off. I wish I had held on to the shares, but I've sold it. It's gone back up again above $3. I think it's at 330 or something as of last time I saw it. So good for
really?
Bluebird, but the only problem with Bluebird is they don't have anything else in their pipeline.
Mm,
So they are like a one hit one song wonder band kind of a thing potentially, unless they come up with new candidates. But if they announce new candidates, then they need to have budget for that, and they don't have money. So
mm,
they are going to appeal for the priority review voucher with FDA. And their CEO was saying that we never planned that to be our ultimate only plan for salvaging our cash situation. We
mm,
have other strategies as well, but he did not elaborate on that. And he also added that the company is going to appeal to FDA to release a priority review voucher. Whether they succeed on the appeal or not, I don't know, because with a black box warning, I don't think they're likely to get the priority review voucher. So that's a little. So of course I went away from Editas into this, but of course we are having a conversation, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
Edit
Good.
301 brings me right over to here. I think in future Editas will be doing very well.
Oh yeah.
So friends, I think with this, Sandeep, I think we have come to an end of all our
Yeah.
talking points, right? This is what we
Yeah.
wanted to talk about.
Just as we enter the holidays, Merry Christmas to anyone celebrating and happy holiday season greetings.
Yeah.
Everyone's
So
well.
Merry Christmas to all. Happy New Year and happy holidays for all the holidays that you celebrate. And I think that during the holidays, most of you are going to be busy with other things, and you may not be watching our videos. So maybe we'll also get into holiday mood and start reducing the number of videos we put out. But if you want more videos on a daily basis, put it in the comment so that I know that if I do work during Christmas, it's not for vain and that people are going to watch it. And don't be mean and put it there without watching it, because I'm going to be looking at how many people are watching the videos. If it is just 5 or 10 people watching my videos, I'm not going to be very happy.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past some of our viewers just, to have some fun.
Or maybe we could do like, I don't know, some off-topic videos on something else.
Yeah.
If you want that, let us know.
Yeah, no, let's do some fun videos which are not related to genomics. We'll just, shoot the breeze on something.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye for now. And hope if you have Editas in your portfolio that you're very happy right now. Things are looking good. Bye for now.
See you, friendos.